let's continue on to our footer design below here. It should wrap up this page in general. There'll be some tweaks to make for sure, but we'll get to those once we get the footer complete. I'm going to go ahead and open our footer.php file. This will be our global one, I think. Well, actually, we should probably make a footer for our home page just in case we add, say, a blog or something, some sub pages later to this site. In fact, we already have those, which will be linked in the footer we're about to add. So let's grab that file. Let's duplicate it, and we'll call this footer. What did I call the header one? Landing. Okay, so now we have just this file, which we'll include on our landing template, which is the front page. So to include it, you just call it this way. So now our header and footer tags match here. Nice. Okay. So at this point, our footer, I think, is either buried behind this content or doing something kind of odd based on all the margin and weird positioning of all these sections. So let's figure out first where it's at. So it's kind of down there. We'll need to add some margin on it to get things going. I'm going to use a class for this, and we'll do site footer landing just to keep it consistent here. And since we're on our landing page, we can grab our styles in the same manner. So we have a global header, we have a header in the landing page. We'll do the same with the footer in the landing page. So footer.scss. We need to include that below. So finally we'll import footer. And then we can call that class that I just copied, site footer landing. So if we refresh, we have that class available to us here. Now let's go to our design and look at the color on that. So there's like a general sub footer and then the lower footer, which has all that kind of copyright stuff. Let's grab this portion here, figure out the color. 3F, 3F, 3F. Whoa. F3F. Okay. I already know we'll need some margin, so I'm going to grab a bit. I don't know. Just to give it something. And same with padding. Maybe something like that. And then we need to add our footer menu, which we've already declared, I think, in the previous video. And then after that, we need our social nav down here as well. So to do that, I'm going to keep this div above the rest, and we'll do another div that is, I don't know what we'll call this, copyright maybe. No, let's just call it social. So in that, we'll have a list. Oops, tab. We'll do, how many we got there? 5 times 5. I think we're going to add these as SVG icons, just native, into the theme. I don't need to really do anything fancy here. They do need to link, which I plan to create a custom field that's kind of a global general setting for each in the admin, so it won't be in the landing page per se, but more or less somewhere we can access those links at any time on the whole site. I deleted that on purpose. I'm going to do this times 5. I think you can do, does that work? This is where I get tricked. There we go. That's actually not right, but okay, let me try that again. I think it's LIA. No. Dash. No. Okay, let's just do it this way then. Maybe I do that. Nope. Sorry, I'm trying to take shortcuts and then it ends up not being one, so that's always the case, seems like. Okay, so this will add an A tag. That didn't work. I'll just stub these out. So for this, we will have, should I give the class that or that? Do this. I can make them hover to their appropriate brand colors. I might do that just as an added touch. So Twitter, and I'm referencing our design on the right there. You can't see me, but I am. And I don't know if we'll make use of all of these, but we can do an if statement to only display the ones that we have links for in the admin section. I'll show you that in a second, how that works. And YouTube. All right, so let's make this just kind of its own thing. Grab the icons. Now I could make an SVG sprite, but these are like the only things I would probably put in the sprite, so at this point it's really not worth it to me to do so. How that works is pretty neat, but I won't talk about it in this series. Okay. Okay, so let's save that. For this, I believe I use my icon library here. There is a social add-on at the very end. YouTube with the circle. I don't really know why I did that. I'm going to use this one. So I'll just show it in Finder. And I need to just throw this in Sublime just to get the SVG code. I will close that. And this will actually be the link itself. I'll clean this up. It should be good. It looks gross, but it should work. And then we'll do the same for Pinterest. Do we have Pinterest? There we go. All right, so I'll do the same there. Now I'm doing these inline mainly because it's easy, but secondly because I plan to have a hover state that's going to be the actual brand color. I think I just mentioned that, but to me that's kind of a nice added touch that helps you identify which social media network you are on or want to go to if you come down this far. Graham. I don't want to do that. I want to do this. Okay, so let me find my bearings. There we go. Right here. That's a big one. That's okay. I'm gonna change that to Instagram. We'll just give it all that anyway. I don't really get why this has version and that doesn't, but whatever. Okay. Twitter, it's in here somewhere. Cool. All right, and then finally Facebook. All right, so that gives us our icons for now. They're probably going to be either black or just huge or something. I don't know. We'll find out. So let's check that out. Yeah, massive. Okay, so we'll target these using our class. I think I forgot is to import that. No, I didn't. Okay. Are we running our server? We are. Cool. So let's go get that social list. Then UL will be list style none. Shouldn't have any padding. Then we'll grab the li. Oops. And to make things easier on myself, I'm going to just give these all a class that's similar. Just an icon. Be careful with that class name. You might be using it somewhere else. I don't think I am. So we'll go into here and do icon. Then we need to target our SVG. I'm just actually going to do that like that. Nesting too far. Let's set a basic width of these. Go to our design. 24 pixels by 24 pixels. Should do the trick, but it did not. Oh, I don't need the li is the problem. And I just noticed I'm not running this on 3000. Cool. Okay. So now they're way over here, but they're resized. Unfortunately, this moved, so I think we're gonna get rid of this stuff for now. Fix that when we can. Wow, that's ugly. What's going on with that? Maybe we need a set height for that. Yeah. Let's make it a little shorter though. That didn't do anything. Okay. Let's go back to the buy section real quick. I will make this a set height because it's kind of being odd. So that allows us our footer to kind of come down a bit. I don't know if reducing that height makes a huge difference. It does. Okay. A little more. Let me get it kind of close. But really, we want the footer to be underneath that. So the height can be pretty short. We'll get it to where we're like just like that, and then we'll set a z-index of something higher on this. I don't know if we could do like a, there we go. Only problem now is that white bar at the bottom. That's kind of odd. Kill my dock so you can see. Sorry. Seeing if that grows. Okay. All right, so let's go back to the footer. Let's add that padding we had back. Probably gonna need more. Yep. We'll start there. We need to first put this over. Let's see how we should grid this out. We have an entire column. We can write a line. This can be div. This can be a div. It already is. Okay. I think we could do. Let's add a main container to this. So this will end our container. And then these need to be in a row. Row call or this end access. Oops. And then this will create a new row. And it will be call. And we'll do this. I think it's space or around access. Essentially, it adds some space based on the flexbox coordinate. So it's a certain growing kind of thing that happens. And we'll experiment with that. It might be between. There's one called around and one called between. So we'll figure that out in a second. These probably need to be still have like a column width, so 12, medium like 6. We'll do something like that. Column medium 6. Let's call this copyright. I don't think I called that anything else, so column access 12. And in that, for now, I'm going to hard code this stuff. I guess this should be in a list. Man, I can't type. Another li. And we'll add that in, and then I'll subtract this. Add that. And we could probably do, I guess I'll just put these in like spans. We could do a pseudo thing on with CSS, but it's not a huge deal. I usually don't like to hard code stuff like this, but at the same time, right now I'm not super concerned, just getting something going here. Okay, so this won't look anything like we want it to, but we can get something going, I think. Okay, I'm gonna try to do between okay, that didn't do crap. Okay, so we'll just right align one of these. I'll figure this out. Okay, so over here we have our menu. We still need to put our logo in and then display these inline. So let's get some of that styled, as well as make the bottom container portion, which we just called, we'll wrap that in another div, call it footer, div there, call this SubFooter. Divs, divs, divs. Need to add one more. Yay. Okay. All right, so we have footer and subfooter. Footer is the very bottom one. Subfooter is the lighter gray portion above that. So the subfooter actually needs to be this. And we'll keep the actual footer background that, and our subfooter is going to be this darker gray, black kind of color. Just 3.6. across. Why is that lighter? Oh, okay. I need to swap these. Okay. Problem with that is that it needs to lose this container class. It needs to go in to, we'll keep it there, but we'll close it. And then we'll add another one here. To wrap those things. Should make it full width. Yeah, okay. So then inside the bottom here, let's style those. Social. I guess I will nest this. So we'll display these. The icon, remember, is the actual list item. These will be block. Awesome. Margin right, just a, we'll do left because this can be right aligned. Like 4 pixels. More than that. 10. Yeah, should work. Okay, so these need to be filled. With a color that is 80. All right. Cool. Let's text line right. This. There we go. So we added a class on each LI. What's going to be kind of annoying is I'm going to have to repeat some stuff, but essentially you need to grab these classes, go get their actual colors. So we do footer or Facebook, SVG. We'll just do hover. Fill would be so on and so forth. We'll do this again for Twitter. What do we got? Instagram. Pinterest. And YouTube. There is a site called Brand Colors or something. I'm going to Google it. Brand Colors. And it's cool. It's kind of not exactly user friendly, but hey. So let's do Facebook. Like I wish if you just clicked it would copy or something like that, but I guess you have to do that. And Twitter. And this crap, like if I hover, it goes crazy. Instagram, I think, is a blue color. Or every color ever. Let's go with this one. I think most people identify with this one. Pinterest. Can't spell. Okay, and finally YouTube. If you hear that beeping, I use this tool called zip up here. Once you copy anything resembling a hex code, it will save it in your history. Useful, but can get annoying, as you heard. Okay, so we have that in place. They should have their corresponding colors now. We can make those a little nicer, and the hover with transition, fill 3 seconds, C's in, out. It's kind of, okay, it works. So we still need to add the links to those. I'll do that in a second. We're going to do that from the custom fields menu. Let's tackle this side. That is the footer. We will call that, I believe it's called copyright. Yeah. UL again needs to be, you know what, I'm going to do this globally on the footer element. No sense repeating it. And can we get away with inline block? We can, I think so. So display. Let's do inline block because some need it. Okay, that did not work like I wanted it. This needs just to be giant, actually. Okay. Let's add padding to this. Quite a bit. There we go. Maybe a little less, see what happens. What's our design doing? It's got about that much in height on the left side, so we actually need more. That's actually pretty close. Okay, so let's target this div. It needs to not be a column medium 6 like I have it. So we'll have to make this one larger, this one smaller. There we go. Oops. Then we will make that text a set color. It needs to be this. Font size can be a lot smaller. 13 pixels is what I have in the design. We'll do like 0.m. Cool. The LI, do like just a bit of padding on each side. These spans, let's make a little bit darker than what we have. So in SAS you can do darken. I can see what I'm typing. Like, I don't know, 10 pixels or percent. Maybe more. Okay, and then we need to do our links, and those be the same color. That's kind of weird. So the spans probably need the padding. There we go. Let's make this have just that small hover indication. Color is, we'll do lighten this time. Throw in AB and like 10% maybe. It's probably too much. Probably just be white, kinda. Okay, so the bottom has a little extra padding I'm not wild about. I don't know if it's anything I can even do about. No. Let's set height of this to be like 60 pixels. It doesn't really do what we want. All right, let's work on this part up here. We'll come back to that. I actually think all I need to do is add some padding on the top. So I'll do that. Just like, there we go. Maybe a little less. That works for me. Okay, then our actual menu needs some loving. It has an idea of footer menu, so we can target it that way. It definitely needs some shifting, so we'll do like 50. I'm gonna get rid of so much padding on the bottom of this. Okay, so we'll do our A tags will be, I might just create a variable here. I think I will. So this color here we're using over and over and over. Let's throw in a variable. I'll just put it in our variables file. We'll do that. So now we can target it like this. Cool. Just gonna copy and paste this now. So our design has these spaced out kind of far. Let's see if we can do the same. Do that on the ELI. Now let's do it on the anchor tag, because then we can make the click area a little larger, but still be invisible. A little more than that. There we go. I think this needs to be more. And this less. Okay. One thing we need to do is add in our logo before I honestly forget. So I believe I didn't export it on purpose. I might go ahead and do that just to have it all the sizing and stuff down. So I'm going to name this layer footer logo. We'll go over to export persona on our affinity file. Let's find that layer. There it is. Let's make a slice. Cool. Definitely SVG. We'll go back to slices. I'm going to uncheck anything else but that footer logo. Export that to our assets folder. And then I'm going to open that on our desktop. Hopefully it's turned out okay. Thing's a monster. Okay, we'll copy and paste it in from here down. Add a new div in here. Footer logo. We'll do this. Need to wrap it in an A tag. We can echo, I think it's blog info. I always forget this crap. URL. Let me check my snippets lab. I don't know if I have it in here or not, but it might be. All right, I don't have it in here. That's okay. I think what we have works. It might need to be echo, and I know there's like escape URL stuff I'll probably need to add, and that's fine. Yep, it's working so far though. I'm gonna give it this a class. I'm honestly gonna just get rid of the, no, I need the div because I need to align it. Footer, logo, link. I don't know, that's a terrible way to describe it because it's wrapping everything, but just trying to get general here. Not there. I'll just do it on its own. Actually, we'll do that div, that's the footer logo. It wraps around that. And we'll do line right. Didn't do anything. You know, I think it might be because we're in this row thing and it's trying to display it flex, and I'm really not doing anything with that. So I'm gonna remove that div and do that manually. So make sure we remove the closing div. I think it is that one. So then they should be like that. I'll just have to go in and change this to footer nav. Alrighty. Definitely get rid of that crap. So we have our footer nav. The nav can be text align right. That works for that. The footer logo, text line right, our link, and then the SVG can be what's in our design. We have 222 by 56. Okay, then we can get rid of some of this crap. That's ridiculous amount of padding. In fact, that's pretty close. I think in our last one we have again our try footer link class. We added that in a prior video. That's to target it to get this yellow color we'll add here. So let's do that one. We can just put that inside our menu div here. This will be color, what did I call it? Secondary color. And then we could do hover, oops, and hover, and focus, color, secondary color, but it should have hover here. It's not working because it needs to be the A. There we go. So that works. To the left of that, I'm gonna actually go this deep. We added a border on the left that I'd like to kind of maintain. So if we do border left, like 1 pixel, solid, RGBA, 255, 255. Well, SAS is smart. You can just do this. And it will be 0.3 maybe. Cool, so that's there. It's a little tall, but that's okay. Maybe we'll add difference? It does not. Okay, screw that then. Okay, we can tighten this up a bit. There's quite a bit of padding below that really doesn't need to be there. That can be done with this. What are we looking at? Like something like so. 2 M's. And then this very last footer portion is still pretty tall. Kind of trying to figure out why. So yeah, setting a height works, but then we lose the full spectrum there. So if we did like a height and then maybe margin bottom -50 or something. That probably needs to be on. I'm going to leave that for now. I think I can live with it. Obviously, there's something there that's causing this to happen, but I think it's all of these things combined in the design that's kind of maybe throwing that off. So we'll get there. But yeah, that kind of marks our design sort of complete. There's definitely more to touch up. I'll go back with a fine-tuned comb for sure and do a responsive take on this, because as you can see, it does not look good. This image thing has been bugging me since the start, so we'll tighten that up where possible and introduce a lot of breakpoints and maybe in some fancy JavaScript stuff with these images in the next video. So I'll see you then.